No substitute.
You get a really good bang for your buck for gasoline.
Yeah, you get quite a bang for your buck.
Its chemical energy has a lot.
Yes.
I can't believe like a gallon of it will move my car 20 miles up hills and stuff. It's pretty incredible.
That's right.
It's pretty, and also it's under the ground. It's out of our way. There's a lot of pretty good things about gasoline, and I guess there's a reason why we're all addicted to gasoline.
Yes, but we've used up half the gasoline that exists in the world in 150 years. It took the Earth hundreds of millions of years to make it, and we've used up half of it in 150 years, and so we're going to run out. We may have run out already. We may have 10 or 20 years left. I don't know, but we're going to run out, and when we run out, our civilization is going to go down the tubes. That's the long and the short of it.
Can you imagine a world without the products we get from oil?
No.
Just the reach is so far-reaching. It's incredible.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. What's it else? Do you think that we are developing alternative technologies fast enough?
No, we're certainly not developing alternative technologies fast enough. We talk about it. Everybody is bought into it by now that we need alternative technologies, but we're not developing them fast enough.
If we see, when I look at a pie chart, a current pie chart from the Department of Energy, it looks like a little sliver for wind, solar, and geothermal.
That's right, and very little. And not increasing fast enough.
What is your opinion on dams and hydropower?
Well, hydropower is very nice, but we've used up all the dams that we can build. We've built dams everywhere they can be built.
But don't you think that they kind of foul the downstream ecosystem a bit?
Well, they do, and so they've been disassembling the dams faster than they've been building dams, and so the dams are not a solution to the problem.
And I was watching TV the other day. They had, I think it was El Salvador. They have their main city is by a volcano. Do you know about how much they extract a lot of geothermal power from this volcano?
I don't know
about
that particular case. No.
If it were up to you, if you were going to devise a plan for our energy future, can you describe something that you would?
Well, I think we have to try everything. Try it, scale it up, see if it works, see what the upside is and the downside is. But everything has to be tried and given a chance to work.
Okay, so how can we try everything? Universities?
Universities have to play their role, yes.
And what about enterprise, free enterprise?
Free enterprise has a role to play as well, but they're not playing it now.
Okay, so but if you were all of a sudden in control of this, would you have any saying to try everything?
I would start looking into every possibility and looking in depth at every possibility to see which ones can be scaled up and work in our favor.
You talk about some, I guess, fusion methods and some solar research that's going on at Caltech. Do you care to expound upon this?
Well, there is solar research going on at Caltech, and it's promising, but nobody's expanding it to the extent that it needs to be expanded. Fusion is a possible energy source for the future, but it's been the energy source of the future for the past 50 years, and it looks like it's going to go on being the energy source of the future for the next 50 years. Mm-hmm. And so it's not very dependable.
So do you think it's pretty much a pipe dream? Fusion?
It's not a pipe dream, but it's not dependable.
It's not going to happen tomorrow.
Not going to happen tomorrow.
I think it's probably most conscientious people would want to bequeath a world to their children just as good as the one that we are inherited from our fathers, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen, does it?
No, it does not look like that's going to happen. Unfortunately, it does not.
What about people like me and people that don't have the skill or the knowledge to work on developing alternate energies? How can we help in this effort? What do you?
You can help by using the alternative energies, using a fuel-efficient car, for example, or a hybrid car. I drive a hybrid. I don't see why everybody doesn't.
Do you think that, given the amount of air travel that goes back and forth, do you think that driving a hybrid is kind of like a spit in the ocean?
No, driving a hybrid makes some difference. It makes a small difference, but it makes some difference. The planes that go back and forth, that's going to have to stop eventually because we're going to run out of fuel. Because
they take a tremendous amount of fuel, don't they?
Yes, they take a tremendous amount of fuel.
At the present time, I guess the whole global consumption of oil is about 80 million barrels a day, with the U.S. probably leading that with about 25% of that.
Yeah.
So we probably don't set the best example for.
No, we don't.
Can you think of any countries on the cutting edge who are really pioneers in this effort?
Germany is the best example. It's gone into in a big way into solar and alternative fuels, but it's not good enough.
No. What about the Gulf disaster? Has that changed your thoughts on any of this at all?
Well, that's a result of an attempt to get more oil out of the deep ocean. That's a very dangerous thing to do, and it led to a disaster. That's inevitable.
Now, I was watching a talk show, David Letterman, and there he had a scientist on there who was talking about global warming, and we've added quite a lot of parts per million carbon into the atmosphere already.
Yes.
What do you think about, do you think this is reversible?
It's not exactly reversible. It would take 1,000 years for nature to restore the balance, the pre-industrial balance of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. But it can be stopped. We can stop where we are by stopping the emissions of carbon dioxide. But we're not doing that.
Okay. Okay, so also, do you know how much of our fuel goes to transportation?
About 30%, I think, goes to transportation.
So there's what about something like the Luxor Hotel with that big light or there's a lot of lights on in the city. It seems to me very wasteful.
Yeah, it's wasteful, but the lights are not a big drain on our energy supply. They are a drain. They are a drain of a certain amount, but not very big.
So it's mostly industry?
It's mostly industry and cars and trains and buses and trucks and various other things.
Okay, so it's not heating and all that kind of stuff?
Heating plays a role as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think we should kind of curtail our oil use and probably save our oil for making roads and the machines that we need? And
Yes. Petrochemicals are an important part of our lives. And without petrochemicals, our lives would be completely different. And so we should save the oil for making petrochemicals and kick the fossil fuel habit. That's the necessary thing to do, kick the fossil fuel habit.